Ohio, bonjour, goedemorgen, guten morgen, and good morning. This is my first ever morning stream on this channel because my internet provider yesterday absolutely took the piss and decided you can't stream today. So I'm doing the stream I was gonna do yesterday night, tomorrow, or well, I guess today morning. You get the point. Internet provider, stinker, and hooked. Now, we're actually starting off with some news that was not in the title, thumbnail, whatever. Because I think this is the least interesting, so while we wait for everyone else to get here, let's start with some boring news. Donnarumma. Man City is in the race for Donnarumma. No. Guys. He just won the treble at PSG. He's won like 5 league titles or something in a row. He's well paid. Why would he leave? I know that people say, oh, but his future is up in air. I know he said he's not sure about what he's gonna do. But you really think, push come to shove, he's gonna leave? And if he does, Man City, already in rebuild, already buying players left and right, are gonna go in for Donnarumma and say like, let's splash another, I don't know, 30, 40 million extra on Donnarumma, because you can't get a goalkeeper for 30 million. Donnarumma is gonna be 60 to 70 million. So this just does not seem likely to me. Yeah, it just won't happen in my opinion. Just won't happen. By the way, big up to the shield. Follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. You know what they say. Portugal won the UEFA Nations League. Yeah. Portugal stuff in it. Anyhow, on to more interesting stuff than Portugal winning the Nations League. Which, by the way, internet provider fucked me over for that final. Fuck you, Telnet. I'm changing to a different internet provider. Damn man, they keep fucking crashing them. Anyhow, negotiations for Tino Livramento to Man City are currently complicated and on standby. Newcastle are not reducing their asking price, as they want to keep Livramento. Almost impossible to agree on terms in time for Club World Cup. This part is important. This part is important. It's not almost impossible to agree on terms. It's almost impossible to do it in 10 days. Guys, a lot of people will be like, oh, English tax, I don't want to pay this much for Livramento, or all that waffle in it. But here's the truth, yeah? Here's the truth. Livramento, yeah? He is a proper right back, homegrown, fits into a Pep system like butter, is very good defensively, can invert if you want, he can form a back three, can go into midfield, he can do anything you like of a right back. People who don't want Livramento, I'm not saying you're wrong, I just want to hear one good argument, and I want to know who you want to get, that is not Livramento, because there's not a lot of right backs out there that are better than Livramento. There just aren't. Hakimi is better, but you're not getting him out of PSG. Balde is better, but you're not getting him out of Barcelona. Koundé is better, but you're not getting him out of Barcelona. Those are a limited amount of right backs who are better. Sure, I agree, but you're not getting those right backs. You're just not. So if you want to look at the best right back that realistically could be gotten, it's Livramento. You know why it's Livramento? Because Newcastle has homegrown issues for the Champions League. And we can solve that if we go get Livramento. Now what I'm about to say is a bit speculative, but Man City, oh sorry, wrong one. Man City has Jack Grealish. Newcastle wants Jack Grealish. Everton wants Jack Grealish. Now, a lot of this is about on loan. But the reason they want a loan deal is because nobody wants to pay these wages. Newcastle is willing to cover at least part of it, it says here. If you go to Newcastle and you say you can have Jack Grealish, and then we'll pay 60 million for Livramento. or maybe we'll pay 50 million for Livramento, and we'll chuck in Rico Lewis in there. Jack Grealish is willing to take a wage cut. He has said so before, he is willing to take a wage cut. So, purely speculative of course, but if you are willing to negotiate these deals here, and if this news about Jack Grealish is true, then I think that it's maybe possible. And again, we tried to get this deal done before the Club World Cup. Which just shows that there was a level of confidence to get it done before the Club World Cup. In my opinion, yeah, I think that this deal is not as impossible as some others. Because, and also we need homegrown players, especially in the defense. We have 0 homegrown defenders right now, unless you want to count Aki, every place. So, Livramento, yeah, he is possible because the UAE and Saudi Arabia, they have good connections. And imagine, yeah, that UAE, Sheikh Mansour, goes to Saudi and they're like, we want to get Livramento. If that deal was impossible, never gonna happen, they would have been told immediately. If there was no chance for that deal, they would have just been told in their faces. This ain't happening. That's not what's happened. So, I still think there's something in here. No thanks, he's a good shot stopper, but awful ball playing abilities. Bevel, nobody cares about passing with the goalkeeper. Let's not do this. Goalkeepers shouldn't be passing the ball. They really shouldn't. Just give the ball to a centre back and let it go. Because that's shot stopping, yeah. That's shot stopping. Because Dean Henderson is not a good shot stopper. Passer. But he's a good shot stopper. And that shot stopping is the difference in a final. Let's be honest. In a final, shot stopping is what makes the difference, not passing. Take up to Rosa, by the way. How are you? The Women's Champions League has changed format. I've watched like 3 games of that, so okay. I'd have to watch more of the Women's Champions League, honestly. I need to start watching women's football more next season. I've watched 3 or 4 games this season. Next season I'll watch more. Think we are getting 2 18 to 19-year-olds that will become homegrown instead of Livra and Morgan Gibbs-White. Well, I don't agree. I don't agree, because 18 and 19-year-olds don't become homegrown. Like, if you get an 18-year-old, you need to be at 18, 19, 20. So an 18-year-old can become homegrown if his birthday is after the season ends. But you need to complete 3 full seasons, or 36 months, one or the other, before you turn 21. So a 19-year-old, you can't get a 19-year-old who's not homegrown and make them homegrown. That just doesn't work. I looked up these rules. I looked up these rules a week ago or something, just to confirm how they work. But Viana loves kids. No, he doesn't. He loves playing on a budget, because at Porto he had a budget. However, if you look at what Viana has gotten over the line so far, Kerky, okay, he's 21, 22, but he's no kid. Reinders is 26, 27, and he's also got Ait Nouri over the line. Again, on the younger side, not a kid. Bloody hell, Alf, that you wet the bet so early. No, my internet provider wet the bet yesterday, so now I have to do it today. Sunderland agree on Joe Bellingham, to Dortmund. That's shocking, to be honest. He's only at Dortmund because of his name, let's be honest. Because everyone I talk to that actually watches the championship tells me that he's fucking mid. So I haven't watched him, but that's a bit shocking, to be honest. Reinders gonna be baller at Man City. Hopefully, you know what, yeah? Reinders is like an important piece of the puzzle that we've got to complete, but like, my main concern is still the right back, and Reinders is pretty cheap. If you look at Reinders, yeah, coming in for pretty cheap, then you got Livramento. You can spend a lot of money on him. Solves the most important issue, in my opinion, for Man City right now. I don't see a reason not to spend big money on Livramento, to be honest. Especially if you can get Grealish off your books in the process. They do. Anyone born after January 1, 2006 will become homegrown. Check website. I'm pretty sure that's for last season. You need to do 3 full seasons in the Premier League to become homegrown. So 19, let's say 19 years old, 2021. So maybe it's the season that you become 21. I don't know, but a 19-year-old is tight. It's tight anyhow. You'd have to go for the 18-year-old, I believe. Maybe it's the season you become 19, but I don't know. Still, Diana doesn't go for kids, so. Like, the 3 signings we've made so far, none of them are kids. None of them are below 21. So, I just disagree. Maybe at Sporting he did that, but Sporting is a completely different club to Man City. Sporting isn't trying to win Premier League titles. Sporting is trying to win Liga Portugal. Sporting is trying to sell on players for a good sum. They're trying to make profit on their signings so that they can continue to grow their club and that they can continue to win. It's completely different clubs. But I guess that's just a difference of opinion. Good, what about you? Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm hoping that some of this Livramento news is true because... And too many people disrespect Livramento. There's so many people, yeah, are like, oh no, I don't want Livramento. I don't want to pay 70 million for him. Same with Gibbs White. I don't want to pay 70 million for Gibbs White. Okay, then what English player do you want to pay 70 million for? What English player do you want to pay 70 million for? If you don't want to pay for any English player, you're gonna have a homegrown issue. That's why they cost more. Because it's homegrown. Like, take for example, Morgan Rogers. If you want Morgan Rogers, because some people want Morgan Rogers back, myself included, you're gonna have to pay a bit more than maybe what he's worth. If you don't want to do that for these English players, you simply won't sign any English players and you won't be allowed to participate in the Premier League because your squad isn't up to standards. So people who say, oh, I don't want this player because he's too expensive, big deal. Livramento, by the way, in my opinion, I would pay 80 million for Livramento, not even including English tax. I would pay as much as 90 million for Livramento, taking into consideration the English tax and all of that. He is a proper right back. He's probably the best right back, in my opinion, that is actually available. He's only 22. 22 is very young. That's an entire career ahead of him. Not a Newcastle guy. He plays at Newcastle, but he didn't grow up a Newcastle fan. So you can't allure him outside. He potentially has ambitions to win a Premier League title. But like, I don't know what people want, honestly. Because Gordon Gibbs White, I understood. I still wanted Gibbs White, by the way, until we got Rangers and I guess it just... and then Jack, and I guess our plans completely changed. But Gibbs White still would have been a good signing to have. Alongside Words, like as a backup option on the bench, or like a rotational player, I suppose. But the thing was, yeah, it was always Gibbs White and Words to have that partnership. When Words fell away, Gibbs White fell away. But I was never concerned about that. I was never concerned about getting Gibbs White. I was more so concerned about getting Words, and if we got Gibbs White, nice. If we didn't, okay, fair enough. Livramento I find more important. He's not leaving Newcastle. Why not? Why not? We've got more money than Newcastle. We've got more chances at winning a trophy. We've got players like Jack Grealish that they want. We could loan them out players as well, or even chuck in. Bro, we could chuck in so many players of our academy into our deal to Newcastle. It's actually kind of stupid, but why would he not even entertain leaving Newcastle? He's not a Newcastle guy. Like, he's not a Newcastle guy. He plays at Newcastle. He's not one of these Newcastle boys who grew up there. So why not? It's not going to be easy to get him out, but here is what makes a big club: getting the difficult signings done. If you're a big club, you get these difficult signings over the line at least once in a while. This is a difficult signing. Go and do it. He's quality in my opinion. I found him for the time. Livramento 60 million max. Have people watched this guy? 60 million max. Because City won't pay Newcastle. Pay what Newcastle wants. Just forget about it. Yeah? So why are we negotiating on every deal? I get what you're saying, but why are we negotiating and haggling on every deal to save up money if it's not to go and spend big on one signing somewhere? Way too much money for the fullback with 3 Premier League GA. He's the first motive for Pep Guardiola. Let's start off with that. He's Pep Guardiola's first choice, and it's a defender. I don't care about how much GA my defenders get. He's a defender first. Remember the treble season? You had Aki, Diaz, Stones, Akanji, or sometimes Walker. It was one or the other. That is what we had. That was a super strong back line. Just defenders. Nobody was worried about GA, just defenders. That one is a treble. Sometimes, yeah, people look too much at GA for the wrong players. Like, people will look at a winger and they will say, oh, goals don't matter. Like, the stats are not everything. Then they'll look at a fullback and they're like, oh, he only gets 3 GA. Attackers scored goals. Attackers got assists. Defenders defend. Like, I feel people sometimes overcomplicate football. He's a very good defender. Like, it's that simple. Alf, did you see news on Ludovic Reis? I did. I'm not that interested, to be honest. City always negotiate. I agree. Cambiasso was Pep's first choice, not Livramento. Well, that's just not. Cambiasso was Pep's first choice that seemed likely because it's pretty much impossible to get a Newcastle player in January. They just don't sell in January. But Pep Guardiola has liked Livramento for a long time. So if you're asking purely, Pep can get any player he wants magically, he'll pick Livramento. If he can magically pick any player, yeah, he'll pick Livramento before he picks Cambiasso, in my opinion. But that's besides the point, because Cambiasso isn't looking like he's gonna come anyhow. We can go get Cambiasso, I believe, we can get it done. But I don't think we're interested anymore, mainly because of his injury record. Because, what injuries has Cambiasso gotten, by the way? Let's see. Cambiasso. Let's see it. Injury history. Because he's been injured a bunch this year. 24-25. Yeah, he's missed 13 games to injuries. Season before that, 1 game, not that bad. Yeah, but he's missed quite a few games this season due to injury. Fullbacks must be able to go forward. That's not how Pep plays with fullbacks. That's not how Pep has played with fullbacks for a long time. What's the last time a Pep fullback was a classical fullback? Cancelo? And nobody liked Cancelo? Well, people liked Cancelo, but they kept getting on his ass for the defensive weakness. Let's take this lineup, yeah? Yeah, sure. Let's put Cambiasso in here. Let's take... by the way, Cambiasso doesn't go up the way that Aït-Nouri does, for example. Cambiasso's GA is probably better, but not by a lot. See? That's not a lot better. That is not a lot better. So, Cambiasso, Aït-Nouri. Because Pep Guardiola likes playing with his back 3. So, fuck Cambiasso. Let's do Livramento. So if Pep Guardiola plays with a full back, yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know. Let's put some players on the pitch quickly. Reinders, Doku. There you go. Something like this is probably what we're playing with next season. Sure. Pep Guardiola is gonna push up Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri is gonna hold to width. Marmouche is gonna become displayed into half space. Because that's what he was already this season. Unless he changes plans, Pep Guardiola. We're gonna have a back three of Guardiola, Diaz, and probably Livramento. We're gonna have Rodri, Reinders. And then you're gonna have your midfield. Kerky is gonna change with Foden. And that's probably how we're gonna play. We're not gonna have this overlapping fullback on the right-hand side. Because what we used to do, yeah, when we had Mateus Nunes push up, and Mateus Nunes pushed up, but Bernardo Silva will drop down into the right-back area and stay back a bit. So can Livramento invert and come up a bit? Yes, he can. He can do this very well. He's not gonna get to G8 most of the times, but he can come into this area very well. That's why Pep Guardiola rates him. So he can push up and do this, just like Bernardo Silva did. And he can defend more competently. He can especially defend in a high line, which we love playing. So you don't need a fullback who gets a lot of GA. Not from Livramento. That's why you have Aït-Nouri. I feel like sometimes we overcomplicate football. Like, oh, defenders need to get GA, and attackers, you need to look at their skill. Get me attackers who can score, and get me, let's keep this open. Get me attackers, yeah, who can score, and get me defenders who can defend. And get me goalkeepers who can keep the goal. Shots fired at Bevo if you're still in here, but you know what, yeah? In a final, in a big moment in a final, what makes a difference? What makes a difference in a final? Is it a attacker scoring? Is it a defender defending? Is it a goalkeeper stopping a shot? Or is it the goalkeeper passes very well? Let's be honest. In a final, the biggest moments in a final are determined by how well attackers attack, how well defenders defend, how well midfielders control the game, and how well goalkeepers stop shot. If your players can't do that, if your players can't do the basics of their position to a competent degree, they're useless. They really are. Look at Savio, for example. While you're talking about him. Should be right wing in that case. Because Foden can go right wing, and Savio can't score. You've barely seen Bob, let's be honest. With all hyping up Bob, we've barely seen him. So maybe Bob can get his chance next season, and we'll see how good he is. But Szczęsny can play right wing just fine. So I even disagree on that. But when you have attackers like Savio, I don't care how good he looks. Useless. Because he doesn't score. An attacker has to score. It's not all about scoring. But if you attack, you must provide. And that's why Savio has been so useless this season. Nobody cares about the 10 assists he got, because he can't score. He just can't score, so he doesn't create any danger by being dead in the attack. Same with Doku. Oh, he looks fancy on the eyes. There are 7 wingers, Belgian wingers, better than Doku. And it's not Trossard, by the way. Trossard is dog shit as well. Let me just go through a list of 7 wingers here from Belgium that are better than Doku. Adriano Bertassini. By the way, talk about scoring with a fucking relegation team, that guy. You're kind of sad how bad his team around him is. Luki Bakio, Bakayoko. What do all 3 of these have in common already? They score. And they have technical ability. And that's the reverse of that is true with defenders. You have a defender like Livramento, they defend. They just defend. It's not about, how much GA can he get? Can he defend? Can he stop us from conceding on the counter on the far post every time like we have this season? Carl Walker was not very great going forwards. Carl Walker, most people say our best ever right back. He was shit going forwards, let's be honest. He was absolutely shit going forwards. Anyhow, Castro Montes, that's 4. Wait, what have I said so far? Alexis Salmakers, that's 5. Already 5 of them. Then the Ketelaar, 6. I'm not sure who I haven't said already. Bertassini, fuck you. Salmakers. Ketelaar. Anyhow, you get the point. There's a lot of Belgian wingers better than Doku. And the reason why, it's not because they're technically better or better at taking on their fullback, it's because they actually produce results. But Man City players won some of... What? But Man City players won something Silva and Ruben... Oh, Man City players won something Silva and Ruben Diaz. Yeah. Did Silva even play that final? I don't know, because my fucking internet provider took the piss. Let's look that up. UEFA Nations. Did Bernardo Silva play that game? He did play it. Maybe I would have seen that if my internet provider didn't say fuck you. Anyhow. But yeah, Kyle Walker wasn't good attacking wise either, so... Yeah, I disagree that GA matters. And even then, you can still push these guys up, yeah, because Livramento is pretty quick. Not Kyle Walker quick, but you can still push these players up, have them cross in balls and stuff, while being a defensive player. You can still do that. Kyle Walker did it. Like Kyle Walker, he used to just cross. His crosses were fucking shit. But you know what? When you cross enough balls in, one of them will land, and you will score at some point, so... I guess that's just spam crosses technique. I don't know what other right back is out there that is honestly better and available. I really don't. So, if you don't think we'll try to get him, I disagree, we're already trying. If you don't think we'll get him, it's not gonna be easy to get him, but impossible? Not at all, in my opinion, not at all. Anyhow, that's more than stream for now. Let's see if there's any new transfer news before we round this one up. Always good to check. Oh, by the way, did Man United sign someone? Didn't Man United sign someone? Let's look this up. United's latest. Oh, this guy. Yeah, I saw this. Maxi Oyedele. He was a transfer target for Club Brugge. But, honestly pretty sad that Man United is going for this guy. Yeah, he was a transfer target for Club Brugge. That's why I knew about this guy. Look at who Man United is competing now. Look at who Man United is competing with. Let's see. Anyhow, not this. Where is City Extra? Where is City Extra when you need? Is it a watch long today? Watch first goal highlights. Thank you, Diaz, but you should not start anymore. I'll do that later. Is it a watch long today? I'm not sure what I will be watching, to be honest. I'm not gonna watch Belgian football. Like, bro, does Belgium play today? Belgian national football. And fuck this team, man. Fuck this team and fuck this manager. Bro, I am so fucking tired of fucking Belgium, bro. It actually makes me fucking violent. I don't know why I keep saying the word fucking so much. And that's what Belgium does to me. It makes me fucking salty. I need to stop saying that word. YouTube gonna have a nightmare with me spamming that. Anyhow, Man City are interested in Lille goalkeeper Lucas Chevalier, alongside Paris Saint-Germain and Man United. PSG are making advances on the 23-year-old, while Lille still hope to extend his contract. And yeah, not happening. Happening that. Well, if this happens, there's 100% nothing gonna happen with Livramento. So I doubt that happens, to be honest. That is even more unbelievable. So what happened to Diogo? He's a bastard. I want a shot stopper. Anyhow. By the way, before I end the stream, I have a question. What is better? A shot stopper or the passer? You get a goalkeeper right now. What is better? A shot stopper or a passer? Because I'll answer that myself. You look at the past 5 Champions League winners. Real Madrid, shot stopper. PSG, shot stopper. Man City, when Man City won it, very good shot stopping by Ederson. Which was the only season he was actually that good shot stopping wise. But yeah. Last 5 Champions League winners, all of them, Chelsea even, had good shot stoppers. So what's better? Good shot stopper or a good passer? This feels like a PR news, to try and raise the price. Yeah, I agree. Shot stopper. Yeah, I agree. For the league, passer. For Champions League, shot stopper. Is it better though for the league? Is it better? Because Alison Becker is a shot stopper. Can pass, but he's a shot stopper. And Alisson Becker has had more positive impact on league runs than Ederson, in my opinion. Ederson hasn't been bad every season. He has had bad seasons, let's be honest. But I disagree. In the biggest moments, you want a shot stopper. And in both league titles and in Champions League or any cup competition, you're gonna need a shot stopper. So no, I think passing goalkeepers are so limited in where they're useful. Pep Guardiola made a new system in which they were briefly useful. But like, again, this is what we do, we overcomplicate football. In the league, this is better, in the Champions League, this is better. So, either one is better, or it's not. And Becker has 1/3 of the leagues, while Becker played with Mo Salah and Ederson played with Kevin De Bruyne. I would argue that's the defining metric there. One plays with Kevin De Bruyne, one plays with Salah. Not trying to say anything. Actually, I am. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, that's all for me. I won't drag the stream out for too long. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 1k by the end of the month. Not sure how realistic it is. Subscribe, make it happen anyhow. And thank you guys for watching. Please get a shot stopper if we're gonna get this goalkeeper. Doesn't look like we're getting our goalkeeper anyhow. That's it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. By the way, I'm doing a stream later. I'm gonna have Patrick on, I'm gonna have Calx on, I'm gonna have Luke on. I'm still waiting for Connect's answer. I don't know if he's coming on or not. I sent him a message for answering me. I'm getting ghosted over here. I'm bringing a few people on, so a few people will come on. Anyhow, that's it for me. Let's read this comment and then we'll go. But we should go for a shot stopper, in my opinion. Go for Champions League. I agree with that. Anyhow,